Okay, so surprise, surprise. If you're hearing this, it's because maybe you couldn't figure out what the answer to this is, or you went to the study guide and you don't agree that it's hypotenuse leg or angle angle side. Okay? Because this says you need to immediately conclude it. You don't have to establish anything new. And I'm going to say that all of these things that I'm about to say are things that you have to establish new. Okay? We know that because it's given that this angle right down here, angle S and angle P, otherwise known as SPR and PSR, okay, are congruent. We know that. And because we were told perpendicular bisector, we can then start to make statements based on that. But even something like this, that this side is congruent to itself through the reflexive property, we have to establish that. We can't immediately conclude anything on what they've given us because all we have is single angle here. All the other stuff needs to be established. Okay, so how do we do it? We could establish that this is a right angle because definition of a perpendicular bisector, and so is this. And then further, we could state, since they're both right angles, then angle PQR, this right here, is congruent to angle SQR. All right angles are congruent. We've established that after the fact. So then we can say, okay, now we can say that is congruent to that, right? Okay. Third angles theorem, if we needed to, we could state that this angle at the top here is congruent to this angle here. Yeah, if we needed to. Oh, we also know this because they told us that that RQ is a perpendicular bisector, and it's bisecting it, so we know that this segment here, P to Q, is congruent to this segment, S to Q. Okay? And we could then now start to do all of the different ways, angle, angle, side, side, angle, side. To do side, 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 or hypotenuse leg, we would need to establish that this is congruent, okay? And the only way that I really would know how to do that would be to say, if we know, we could apply the Pythagorean theorem or something like that. But really, so really there's some that we can establish, some that we can't. We might make this a multiple choice, rather an extra credit question where we give you the original given information and ask you to, through one of these ways, establish congruence between the two triangles. And then it's your job to, make the case in a two-column proof for how you know all the things that lead up to and justify being able to say the triangles